Senator Bacic.
Thank you, Cathaoirleach, and I'd like to join others in welcoming Minister Brian Hayes to the House again. And thank you very much, Minister, both for your commitment to this House, indeed, and also for your commitment to this motion and for your very thoughtful and considered response to the issues raised in the motion. And I think we're all in the Labour group delighted that you've responded both to the terms of the motion itself and also to the broader issues that it raises around how we deal with the huge problem, huge economic and social problem of distressed homeowners and mortgage holders in significant difficulty with repayments, and we do very much thank you for that. And I'd just like to pay tribute to Senators Hayden and Maloney from the Labour group who've raised this issue and who've now brought it before the House. And I think it's been a very strong debate on the motion in the best tradition of the Seanad, where we framed it as a non-partisan motion aimed at trying to generate discussion on ideas and creative and constructive solutions as to how we deal with this problem. And as I say, it is non-partisan, it's deliberately reflective in tone, and I think we are very grateful indeed to the opposition, in particular to Fianna Fáil and Sinn Féin and independent speakers who've indicated their support for the motion and who've mostly addressed it in the non-partisan manner in which it was intended. And like Senator Gilroy, I'm trying to refrain from any sort of partisan comments. But I think we all accept that genuinely that on both sides of the House this is a matter of deep concern for everyone, whatever the genesis of the problem, and certainly we have a very strong view on that. But I think what we are trying to do here is to suggest solutions. The difficulty is the scale and the growing scale of the problem, and as Senator Hayden has said, the fear that what we're facing is a tsunami, a great number of repossessions and the fear of repossessions that itself is generating so much distress for families and for individuals. And indeed in the programme for government itself, the point is made under the section dealing with housing and distressed mortgages, as the Minister will be well aware, that the recommendations of the Cooney report, which the Minister has addressed in such detail, that these recommendations are inadequate to address the scale of the current crisis. And I think that is the real difficulty, and that's why we're putting forward more radical proposals for consideration by the government. And I think we would thank the Minister for his response to the proposals we've raised, but just turning to what they are, and again to pay tribute to Senator Hayden and Senator Maloney, and in particular Senator Hayden's years of experience with Threshold, with the Housing Agency, that there's an interest and I think a great deal of merit in exploring the Scottish scheme further. This is the scheme set up by the Scottish Government under their Homeowners Support Fund, whereby they offer supports to householders with a view, as Senator Maloney has said, to ensuring that families are kept in their own homes and that there is a better use of public money rather than simply putting it into the rent supplement that is currently eating up so much of our public finances here. So it's really to try and see how we can keep families in their homes, take pressure off social housing lists and target funding in a more effective way and in a way that addresses the real needs of families. And that, I think, is where the two schemes that we've outlined in the motion in brief and which have been outlined in more detail by Senator Hayden, I think that's where these two schemes have great merit. Now, looking at the mortgage to shared equity scheme, where the Scottish Government takes a financial stake in a home, but the applicant continues to own the home, continues to clearly to live in it, and continues to have the responsibility of maintaining and insuring it, but with a reduced amount due to their lender each month. That is, to my mind, has huge merit. Now, I see the Minister has pointed out the real difficulty with adapting that scheme in the Irish context is that it's generally depending on the owner having a loan not exceeding 75% of the value of the home. Now, where a large number of mortgages are in negative equity, the scheme would have to be adapted. There would have to be changes made clearly to ensure it would work here. But equally, there will be people in difficulty with mortgages where they have built up sufficient equity in their home that the mortgage to shared equity scheme could apply here. And I mean, as many senators have said, it's really trying to find, I suppose, a variety of different schemes that will address the different needs. I think Senator Crown has put forward his point. There's an idea that again will only apply to certain distressed homeowners about the use of pension funds. I think Senator Hayden has pointed out that many of those in difficulty with negative equity may not have access to the sort of resources in a pension fund that could be targeted in the way he's described. So it is trying to find a variety of different ways to support distressed homeowners, and that's what we're seeking to do here in this non-partisan motion. We're conscious also that the programme for government itself has made a number of proposals, which I know, that, as you've said, Minister, are being progressed by the government, and there's some initiatives that were suggested by the Cooney report that deserve greater consideration, and I think in particular the proposal for trading down recommended has a huge merit where householders are in significant negative equity. So, you know, as many people have said,
yeah, 1 minute.
Thank you, Chair. As many people have said, this is a matter that's of deep concern, not just in terms of the economy and at macro level of the housing market, but of course it's of huge concern to individuals, householders and families, and all of us are touched by this issue. It's something that I think will be of growing importance, and it's something that I'm glad we've had the opportunity to address in this reflective manner here tonight in the Shannon, and thank you again, Minister.